Three. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Saffron Honey Chai. And in this episode, we're going to get into this Demon Slayer movie, the first of our cute little trilogy. Now, if you're someone who's very anti spoiler, you're afraid of spoilers, please do not come here and watch this and then complain to me in the comments. Or do. I need the engagement because I'm going to get into it. I'm going to talk about it. First off, my man. Oh my God. I don't usually support men's wrongs, but Akaza is my exception. Because what do you mean? You became a demon just because someone messed, not even with your woman. He loved her as a person. He wasn't like, yeah, I'm in love with her, da da da. He loved her as a person. He was taking care of her as a person. And then he found out she liked him and he said, you like me? Oh, okay. And then he's like, well, let me go make things right with my daddy so I can tell him about my girl. And then he comes back home and finds his best friend and his mentor slash father figure dead. Yeah, you know what? I understand why he did what he did. Because what do you mean you poisoned the water supply? You poisoned the water supply? That's because you knew you couldn't beat their ass. That's because you're cowards. You're scared. You were too scared for a normal fight. Because that man, that big man with his little his little gi, only thing he ever wore the whole movie. Oh yeah, he would have given those boys the breaks. Because what do you mean you all have weapons and he's sitting there with just his fist and he's like, mink, mink, mink. He was not playing the first game, not especially about his little baby girl. Oh, he loved that girl. He loved that girl bad. And he took care of his daughter and set this boy on a good path. He could have been right. He could have been righteous. He could have been a good man, Savannah. But instead, y'all sat there, y'all killed him, and y'all killed his daughter. So now their little pseudo son come home, and he's like, well, I guess forget all of that. Because he had just made that promise. Yeah, I'm going to be a good man. Dad, I'm going to live a good, honest life. And he's like, well, I mean, the hell am I living a good life for? I won't lie. The gore was kind of horrific. I was like, wow. The gore was pretty horrific. And then the way they were talking about it, like, yeah, it's pretty bad, guys. He beat them to death with his bare hands. No weapons, nothing. And then like you saw it in the movie, like you saw like the blood, the guts, the blah. And then the moment where Muzan got to him, okay, this is my little controversial take. Akaza is a victim. Now you might be like, wait, hold on. What do you mean? He's been punching people through the chest for hundreds of years. But let me explain something to you. His ascension into demonhood started with a traumatic brain injury in the form of his head, where his brain lives, getting punched all the way through to the back. So, and then the blood went straight into his brain. So, of course, he was all messed up and doing all this stuff. Yeah, of course he got really confused because when it got to that, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I get it. Trauma's the answer all along. But what I really like about these movies, and especially about the way Tanjiro is Tanjiro be like, wow, he'll hear the demon's tragic backstory and he'll really sit there and listen to it and make so much peace with the demon and be like, oh my God, I really understand how it could go that way. Like, y'all remember the little music demon, how he was like, I just wish people appreciated my skills. He was like, no, your skills are amazing. You're great. I'm still gonna clip you though, but you're wonderful. And I really wish people had appreciated you in life. But because you did wrong, unfortunately, you must be dealt with. And he was dealing with them and then doing his little prayer at the end. And I think that's such a pleasant like reframe of the typical shonen protagonist, because I've been watching anime basically as long as I've been alive. I've been watching anime since the only anime you could get in this country and know it was anime was Dragon Ball Z on VHS. So that's how long I've been watching anime. And usually he's like boisterous. He's like, you know, a little rude, a little this, a little that. But Tanjiro is so precious and beloved and well written that for a good couple of years, Japanese children, when polled, loved Tanjiro more than their own parents. Typically, I love mom. I love dad because I don't see him. And I love whatever anime character is the most popular. No, no, no. I love Tanjiro. I love Tanjiro Kamado. He's the best of us. He's the best of our nation. He's the greatest man I've ever known. And, and I think it's nice because he's like just out there doing what he has to do because he didn't want to be a demon slayer. He's not like these other guys who were like, yeah, I want to be the best. I want to be the Hokage. I want to be the strongest fighter in the whole universe. I want to save planet Earth. He's like, I want to get revenge for my family and keep my sister safe. That's the only reason he became a demon slayer. He did not really care about none of that stuff. He was not in it for the prestige. He wasn't here for the respect or anything like that. He was like, I would have rather lived the rest of my life just growing trees and cutting down trees to make charcoal until the day I died, as long as I got to enjoy my life with my family. So you really start to see, like, damn, this has taken so much from him. Like, this quest to being a demon slayer has derailed his life completely. And it wasn't even his fault. It was goddamn Muzan Michael Jackson's fault. Like, all you had to do was just keep being a demon and minding your business. You didn't have to go there and bother that little boy. But villain's gonna villain. What can I say? But he took it in stride. He handled it. And in the movie, especially, I think all the main three handled themselves really well, even though we saw Inosuke for like 2 minutes and literally 2 minutes and counting, I think, max. And I like how our main two, because it was Zenitsu, we about to get into that, and Tanjiro. And Tanjiro, his mindset and the way he encounters the combat lifestyle, the combat mindset is so smooth. Because of course, I mean, Giyu, he really needed more support during that fight. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Why are you standing on the side for 20 minutes dissecting the battle speed and everything? Like, what's going on here? How can I anticipate that? I don't know, man. Maybe if it was a time pausing anime and he was doing all that, I would get it. But I do like the way, even though he had that man fighting for his life, he was like, okay, let me be useful. Let me be thinking while I'm on the side. Because sometimes they just be on the side scared out of their mind. They'd be like, oh, I can't do anything. Or, you know, a demon that's inside of them possesses them. But Tanjiro's like, no, I'm about to smoke. I just have to figure out how to hand it to him. Like, I really appreciated that. And then my man Zenitsu. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I did not really like Zenitsu at first. I thought he was annoying. I thought he was loud. I thought he was irritating. I was like, we gotta deal with this little creature for the rest of the show. Are you sure? And most people, they liked him because he locked in. I didn't really care about that. But when he gave his little FU speech to the blue one, I'll call him the blue one because his name is irrelevant, just like him. When he gave his little FU speech to that man and was like, why would you do this to Gramps? Because Gramps killed himself and it broke his heart what you did. And how can you live with yourself? How can you live with yourself? How can you stand it to have done this? And the blue one was like, I don't give a damn about that man or you. Why the hell would I care about that? What does this mean to me? I had to go where I was appreciated, where people cared about me. And then you see the flashback where he becomes a demon. He had his head to the ground, damn near ready to piss himself. He was like, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. He was acting big and bad the whole time. Like, I had to go where I was important. You know, I had to go with people who saw my value. You was on your hands and knees begging like a dog for your life. And I get it. I can't say I wouldn't beg for my life too if someone who was 8 feet tall with 8 eyes was looking at me. But I wouldn't later on try to pivot like, oh yeah, I'm big and bad. I'm the coolest. I'm the best. And then when I heard my mentor died, and that would be my reaction. No. Because the only reason he's worth anything, the only reason he even got turned was because of Gramps. Because Gramps had given him all the energy, all the power, all the training he needed to become someone worth turning into a demon. It was like, oh, hold on, wait a minute. He knows a breathing style. Wait a minute, this would be something juicy for the girls. Hold on, they might like this. They might like this. And he was just not giving that. He was not giving that. And I like that the fight was not that long. I like that it was out of the way early. And my favorite part was when Lady Tamayo's man saw his head floating down into the abyss. And then you guys have to remember, Zenitsu was above the guy's head. So Lady Tamayo's man had to go down further to make eye contact with him and was like, you know, you're never going to be anything, right? You know, you're worthless and your whole birth was a mistake and, you know, everyone hates you and you should hate yourself because you're garbage. Because that was the only thing the blue one was happy about. He was like, well, at least I'm not going to die alone. I feel good about that. I'm not going to die alone. And it's like, not only are you going to die alone, but you're going to be forgotten. Everyone's going to forget you because you're not important. You've never had any value. Sucks to be you. And then he went and saved Zenitsu. But the level of hate that he experienced in that dying moment, because he was content. He was like, well, this trash killed me, but I'm going to be able to turn it around. But no, there is no turnaround because Zenitsu was on top and he recovered and he healed eventually, I'm sure. I didn't read the manga. And he avenged Gramps and had that beautiful moment. Oh my, when I tell you I started crying when Gramps was like, you're my pride and joy. Because I didn't really feel it before. I saw the panel before, but I didn't feel it before until I saw him standing across the little river of life and death. Like, you, Zenitsu, are my pride and joy. And I think Zenitsu really needs to hear that. Because, I mean, just like I thought he was annoying all the time, I know many people thought he was annoying. But he had such a good, strong character. Because even when he was talking about the blue one, he was like, I didn't like him. I hated him. He hated me and I hated him. But we respected each other because we saw what we were doing in this world. And when I really made peace with that, I was like, damn, Zenitsu is a real one. I should have joined the fan club way sooner because he wanted the lock-in. I was like, I don't care about him locking in. Locking in what? But no, I'm officially a Zenitsu fan. I heard there's no jackets, there's no sweaters for it, but I'm in it anyway. And my last little closing piece, Doma. I hated that man so bad. Because I was wondering for so long, why would Gyutaro and Daki choose to stay in the red light district? Why would Daki choose to be locked up in decades, if not centuries, of courtesanship, being just one of the most expensive sex workers in the country, rather than instead going to be with Doma and unbothered and not having to deal with like dirty people want to touch you. And then I heard him speak for those terrible 15 to 20 minutes and I understood everything. I would rather be bitten by rats, one rat a day, than have to deal with speaking to that man even once. He was so condescending and annoying and irritating, and he made it seem like he really got it. He was like, oh my God, you're so weak, Shinobu. You really done so much. I'm so overwhelmed with love and pride for you. And he's eating people. He's eating women, which is like kind of weird because there's a metaphor in there somewhere. There is a metaphor in there somewhere. I know it. But like, he's like eating the women and they're like trying to run away. And it's like, nah, I got you. With his little fan. But he's still eating them. And I didn't really understand the Akaza thing, his beef with him. But then I was like, oh yeah. Yep.
He's the nice guy.
He's the nice guy. Oh my God, he's the nice guy. He's the nice guy. He's like, no, they're so beautiful and precious. And like, I don't want them to feel pain. Because it's like, yeah, it's real white knight stuff. Because he's pretending like he cares about his disciples' problems and that he's worried about them and their well-being. But in reality, he just wants what he wants from them. And so he consumes them. And realistically, I think it would have been better if he was just in it for sex instead of in it to literally kill them. because his whole mindset about it is so twisted and warped. And even when I saw his little childhood like backstory, this is the one demon whose backstory I did not give the first damn about. I was like, so your parents deified you and now you have issues because they deified you. Like, I understand why he has issues about that, but they manifested in the most annoying way for them to manifest for an adult. And I want nothing more than to get to whatever film he dies in, because the last bit, this last trilogy right here, is going to be what would be the 5th season, the final. And realistically, I'm looking quite forward. I'm looking quite forward to seeing him die a terrible death. And I hope it takes a long time. I hope the fight's like half the movie and that he dies in a really painful way so I can just sit there and be like, yeah, this is payoff. I feel good about this one. But in general, I really enjoy the movie. Mappa and Ufotable, they really put something in it. I don't know what they put in there, but good God. And I saw it in IMAX. I was like, wow, this is great. Now, I don't know how they're going to top this one, because the previous movies, they were good too. But this movie, oh my God, they put something in it. And it was just so emotional, and the music was good. The music was perfect. The pacing was great. It wasn't too fast or too slow. And like, it was great. It was great. I cannot wait for the next few. And I really just love how far anime has come, because I was liking anime back when you could still get bullied for liking anime. They was making fun of me for doing my little Naruto run. And granted, was it silly to do the Naruto run? Yeah. But children are allowed to be silly. So watch out. I just love it, because we went from having to secretly pirate movies and having to watch YouTube series in like 3 parts on dial-up to now I could see a movie in theaters. And this movie was better than the first anime movie I ever saw in theaters, which was the Naruto movie, the one with the actress. This is way better. I'm so happy. I love to see the world improve and get better and better. And I can't wait to see the next view. And that's it. Thank you so much. We're going to end this with a word from our sponsors. See y'all next time. Like, comment, and subscribe. Care of your family in the unexpected emergencies. And your family could be you, your family could be you and your friends, and your family could even be you and your dog. And you all deserve to have that peace of mind to know that at the very least, when things go awry, you have something quick and easy to rely on. So go check them out and use my code to get 15% off. That's SFC Treats. SFC Treats to get 15% off. And that's the highest discount they have to offer. So check them out and see what is going to work for you, because you deserve to feel safe and secure, and to secure that future by yourself.